Change took you away. Oh dear, change has changed you.
Hey Gouri, hey Aksha.
Hey, what's up?
So actually the thing that I'm excited about is sort of the two of you actually how you came together. So Gouri, I'm assuming from Kerala. Are you Malayali?
Yes, I am
Namaskaram.
fully Malayali. Like,
Naatle
Namaskaram. Naatle Trivandratunu.
Oh, so Trivandrum,
Yes.
Kerala, and Aksha, you're from
Yeah.
Jalandhar, Punjab. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
How, like, I know that you guys, this seems like a sort of long distance. This literally seems like a weird movie of like, she came from Jalandhar, Punjab, and she came from Trivandrum, Kerala, and then they came together. So I heard that you guys came together because of a production of Aladdin the musical. Is that true?
Yes. It is. Yeah. We both just happened to be part of it and kind of just bonded over like similar music that we listen to. And we realized that we both love harmonizing a lot. So we did a lot of we had free time. We had a lot of like free time backstage. We were in the same green room, like, so there was a lot of like chilling over like music and singing and harmonies and like, yeah, and that's how we sort of met. But I think we were already
There was a lot
like,
of 90s music happening in the green room.
there was.
That's exciting to note.
It was. Although I think before Aladdin, both of us were kind of. I think Aksha was in Bangalore for a bit. I was in Bombay already. Like,
Yeah.
and then we just sort of crossed paths because of Aladdin.
Oh, nice. So, what do you think it was that kind of was that spark moment of like, we were meant to be together and work together and make music together?
Do you have a moment?
Okay.
Go for it.
Are you going to say Littlest Things?
Yeah.
Like the Lily Allen song?
There was this, we used to go to Bhandup to practice our dance moves every day.
already
okay?
is a
Yes,
joke.
exactly.
We used to go to
Exactly
Bangalore
what
to
I was gonna
practice.
say.
We
had to
went
go
every single
every
day.
day. Oh yeah, like
It was hard.
Like, it was
Entertainment
a-
is hard work, I realized. I was like in a corporate job for like 4 years and then I suddenly went to Disney and I thought, oh my God, I'm like, now I'm an entertainer, now I'll chill. It is so physically exhausting, it's not funny.
I can imagine.
So we were in Bhandup and there was this dilapidated old room with like an old Yamaha keyboard sitting there.
Yeah.
And whenever we used to get time, we used to just go there and like,
yeah.
PG-13, right? So like mess around. And so we started working on the song. Like we were just singing Lily Allen's Littlest Things and like we started harmonizing, like playing that. And we were like, hey, you like the song, I like the song. And it sounds nice with the harmonies we've like put on. And looks like we should do more of this. So we introduced each other to more music. And then we wrote together for the first time when the production was in Delhi. And we were sharing a room. So we wrote a song.
Yeah.
And
We kind
that
of
was what
planned it
happened.
though. Like I took my MIDI and everything, knowing that we were gonna have some like more time together. So we were just like, let's do this. Let's give this like a real shot. Like try and write something together, and we did.
So that's how Gouri and Aksha sort of became a duo together.
Yeah.
So actually, you know what? Considering the fact that I don't know if this is something that you thought about, did you guys have an idea of like maybe naming the band? Or were you like, let's just stick with our names because let's keep it simple?
We kind of went. Let's do our names.
Oh, there was no like
Over
Excel
the
sheet of other names that you were rejecting.
We've thought about it, but never seriously.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Are there any potential
kind of were-
potential names? No?
We've been asked to call ourselves Goraksha a lot of
A lot of times. Yeah.
If it happens more times, we might seriously consider it.
I mean, some things you have to have some things that save you in this world. But like but that is I did not even think of that. But I definitely understand why you've stuck with just your names right now, because that combo deal is not great. So talking about how you guys sort of write music, Aksha, are you sort of like the main songwriter? Like you have a journal that you put your sort of ideas down on and that kind of thing?
We're both
Wow.
we're both songwriters. We both have our journals with ideas. We both come up with parts on the keys, little bit guitar, and whatever. Like if
It's
some,
like
yeah, please.
it's like different with different songs. Like there are some songs which would have like the main idea might have come from Aksha, or there'll be some songs which like most of it is from me. Like, and then we sort of both get it. Like we show each other and we both get on it, and then something else happens because it's suddenly influenced by like each other, right? And then it kind of just takes it somewhere else. Possibly not somewhere like if I was to write one song by myself, it might not go there, but
But because you're doing it together,
it's
it kind of gets taken
yeah
to in different
it
directions.
really yeah so
Fair
it's
enough.
kind of cool like that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Which is what the name of the EP is about. Like it's like a little bit of ourselves that we bring, and like when we actually
Some
sit
of the
down and work on
parts.
it, it becomes like this whole another thing, which might not have happened if we would have tried to do it individually.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if this is a thing for you guys, definitely a thing for me. Voice notes Zindabad. Like I I live my life on voice notes.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how you guys trade ideas as well?
Yeah, we do some voice notes. We do a lot of WhatsApp voice messages, like which will be like melodies, and we'll kind of take each other's like melodies and fuse them together sometimes. We also, yeah, I think at this point we're both comfortable using like we both kind of use Logic, so we send each other sessions, put down like keys parts or like guitar parts or whatever, and then
So for the first year, Gauri was in Bombay. So either she would come over or I would go over to her place and we would do it together, like sit down and do it together. Even if we have an idea, we would play it like live and show them and then work on it. But now that sometimes we work remotely, we might flesh out the idea a little bit more on like Logic, put what we are thinking and then share it and then work on it together. So it's not set in stone, but yes, voice notes has a lot that should be worked on.
I'm
That is
excited
just
because I
getting
would love
there.
to just get a hold of all those voice notes and listen to it myself like a creep. Like we're like, ooh, wonder where that came from. No? Why? Why? What's on the voice notes?
Because some of them it's not great. It'll be, some of it will be like in bed like with like sleepy voices and just like mostly air will be coming out, but you can sort of hear the idea. Like
That's amazing. This is the voice. I
like
mean, yeah.
it might be interesting for you, but I wouldn't want people to hear like any of that.
The origins of this song.
Yeah.
It is a little bit like being a fly on the wall when you're listening to something come together. Because I think that, and I think this is what a lot of artists sort of struggle with, is that a song can just take so many permutations and combinations that on some level, you kind of have this moment of like, what is the right path that we're going to take with this song? And then, there are artists even now that listen to their music going, I wish I could have done that differently and that differently. But it is like out of the 4 songs that were on that EP, I was really drawn to Changes. That was my favorite song. That's why I'm featuring it.
Oh,
Yeah. Also, Gauri, I just realized that I don't know if you were part of, but are you a part of the other Gauri Jaykumar's like Pulpy Shilpy or whatever, her Run Pussy Run band? I saw you
yes.
in like you're in the video for one of their songs, Roaches. Are you part of the band?
I mean, right? It's not Run Pussy Run is not really like
I mean,
functioning right now. But yes,
is
I was
any
like,
band
we
in
did.
the indie scene really like right now at this stage? Everyone is a bit non-functional. Of like everyone is permanently on hiatus. Like it is the pandemic is hiatus only. So yeah.
Yes. So yes, I am part of that. Like
That's so
I was,
cool. I saw you because
Gauri and
Roaches
I-
was a great song. But yeah, you're Gauri and Gauri. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great band. I mean, like
Incredible
yes,
music. So, between the two of you, do you ever have moments where you kind of disagree? And, what kind of does that even happen that often? And what do you guys do if that does happen?
It happens. It definitely happens.
Usually when we're writing, it happens less. When we're sitting and like producing the song,
I feel like Gouri looks like she's going to disagree with you. It happens more at this time and less at that time. Gauri's like, really? Really?
Yes, Gouri, we're all waiting for you to say something.
No, that I was gonna say the same thing. Like sometimes during writing also, but like mainly it happens. It mainly happens during like the production stage when we're like sitting down and doing it.
Yeah.
At which point we discuss like we really like passionately present our cases, like like
Gauri's trying so hard to be diplomatic right now. Of like, we passionately present it, and then
it's true. Like we convince each other.
You really try to convince. If they're not getting convinced, then you're just like, okay, let's just sit with it for a few days before we decide anything.
Take some time.
And so in those few days, there will be moments where you're not so like argumentative and you're just like listening to it. It's not an argument anymore. And sometimes you actually agree and sometimes you're like, nope, I gave it 4 days. This is not happening. Yeah.
I think that process sort of like really clarifies, gives you a lot of clarity on like what are the things you really, really want in the song. Like the more passionate you are about defending it, like you really want that thing. So that's kind of cool. And some ideas are like, you just want to try it, but then this other person is like she'll be like, no, I'm not feeling this. Then you're okay to like let it go because it wasn't that strong an idea in the first place.
Fair enough. And I definitely come from a space where I like it when people spar with me because, I mean, I'm really not one to be like, everyone shouldn't just agree with me. That's so boring. I don't mean like full on raging arguments. I wouldn't like that kind of like disharmony. But it's nice to have people that you can spar with who you disagree with or you want them to sort of, elaborate on their idea and passionately present. Like
That's exactly what we do.
I love it. But I think that's so valuable because there are times where you think you might have a good idea, but someone's might just, like you said, not that your idea is bad, but theirs just might be slightly better. And yeah, and I do like that. I've also had people completely knock down like one of my ideas and I'm just like, that's cool, man. I'm not afraid of that. But I know a lot of people don't like, that antagonizing sort of, fighting over things, especially when it's creative.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is.
It's uncomfortable for sure, but I would never want to not have it because it's reassuring in a way that somebody's there like listening to all of this and somebody that you creatively respect, like their creativity you respect and understand and resonate with. And they are like listening to all of this. And if they're coming up with a change, then I mean, it's reassuring like that somebody's like pointing maybe your errors out to you that you can, it just in the moment you get a little like egoistic, but after a while you think about it and you ultimately it's great to like cut clutter and like I don't think there is any part in the songs that we've released that I listen to and go like should have not let her do this. That doesn't happen.
Should have.
Wow. Definitely.
I'm so glad that you guys are on the same level as me with this whole sparring thing because I also think that I think a lot of people also, I mean, and again, each to their own. I think there are also people who find it very difficult to present passionately. They might be more shy or they might be more, I mean, there's going to be a thing now, Gouri. I'm just going to
No, I that's what we do. I strongly like that's what we do. Like actually.
And so I think that like obviously it differs between people, but I always like encouraging that, especially with creative stuff, because it's so, and that's the thing, it's so subjective. Like what I like or what you like or what, anyone else like will always be different, which is why like even with Made in India, a lot of people are asking me, so how do you pick the songs? What do you look for? And I'm like, whatever I like, man. Like if I don't like it, then we're not gonna, which is why like, I'm always been a little bit of a B-side gal. I've always been that person who likes the weird songs and, not the ones that are probably the lead single on the album or something. But yeah, like I do think that it's the ones that sound a little different or, and with B-side songs, it's always that moment of where the artist doesn't think it's strong enough to be on the A side that they put it on the B side.
Or the artist is thinking of a radio single and not really something that came very honestly to them.
Fair enough.
That's mostly the case.
So in November 2021, you guys released a new single called Hold On Tight.
Hold on tight, we'll leave here.
Which I love. Such a great single. Can you tell me a little bit about the song? One of you would be great. If both of you are just silent, be like, someone else will do it. May you only do yourself.
So yeah, I think Hold On Tight started from like a piano riff. And it just sort of went from there. Like we wrote some lyrics on it, and Aksha had this small riff that's where it all began. Like I think the song is also kind of built on that. We both really were like vibing with it, and it felt a certain kind of way.
So what's it
And the lyrics
about?
just
What's
sort of
Hold On
happened.
Tight about?
It's sort of about wanting to like get away from like real life, like from adulting and like from just like being in the difficult parts of things. And it's sort of like a nod to like maybe some drugs also, if you want to interpret it that way.
This is why Gauri's like, do I have to talk about this? Can someone else?
That's why I nicely kept quiet. I was like, I will let Gauri handle this.
I was wondering, like, why is it so awkward? Gauri's like, maybe there are drugs. I don't know.
No, but you can interpret it that way also. Like it's one way to get away from things, Another way is to find solace in like music, or another way is to have like that somebody who like helps you deal with like everyday things. It's kind of like all of those things. So I know like there was a lot of people who asked us like, oh, this is about like doing drugs, right? Which is why I had to mention it. But it wasn't like that's not how it was written.
No. Amma Appa, no.
I'm sorry, but something stuck in my throat. No.
No, yeah.
But it is
Not really. So it was... It can be.
It can be.
It was... The whole track was written first and the lyrics actually came after that. But while we were putting down the melodies, we were sort of saying, hold on tight. And then we were like, okay, what can we make this about, And then we like, for me, like I had this vision of how when you're at a party and like you're really not vibing. And then when you sort of trip, you're like in your own like escape world, like it's fun. And then we sort of expanded from there. So yeah, it's about escaping.
I mean, this is like
however
that
you
thing of, a song can be interpreted in any way, shape or form. I mean, Hold On Tight could be about constipation. Who knows? Like,
Oh no.
I went
Why
there.
would you do that?
My team will be so upset. They were like, you had to bring potty into it. God damn it. So the next song, Hold On Tight. Now everyone's going to be listening to it thinking about that only.
No.
It kind of makes sense till a really long time. Like I was just playing the lyrics in my head. We can bend the will of the universe if we just decide to say goodbye to all of these things inside of us or something. I don't know.
All of this hurt. All of this hurt, Aksha.
The
Hold
meaning,
on tight,
the
guys.
true meaning has really come through. I think this is a breakthrough moment. I'm so proud of the three of us together.
Now this might go viral, guys. Now
could.
this song is gonna get some serious plays.
Hold on tight.
Nice.
Are you guys going to be working on any new stuff like for 2022? What's your plans?
We have a couple of things. We have a bunch of things. We can't really talk too much about any of it.
This Gauri is like cryptic as hell, man. Like it might be about
that's
this.
me.
We might be doing things. We might not.
Yeah, that's how it is. Like it is what it is.
But this year is definitely the year
Exciting.
of collabs. Like we're super excited about collaborating with other musicians. We have some fun stuff coming out. Also working with producers. Like by till now, whatever we've put out, we've mostly arranged and produced.
Yeah.
But now we're like working with producers, and it's like fun and a learning process. But cool
Make
things
other
happening
people do
for
the
sure.
work. Correct.
little, little bit, yes.
Use their talent. Use it.
Whatever we want. It can be interpreted in so many ways.
It's an episode about collaboration, me.
Yeah.
Collaboration.
I mean, it is. And also. So awesome. We may or may not expect some music. And of course, there's going to be collabs, which I'm excited about. So, yeah.
Yes.
No, there is definitely music.
Oh, thanks for confirming
clear
now. Okay, confirmation has arrived.
There is definitely a bunch of stuff, but yeah,
super
that's all I'm gonna say about it.
awesome. So I'm super excited, and yeah, people get a chance to hear your latest single. Hold on tight. Thanks so much, guys, for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for having us. We had a ball. Yes.